if you look at, like I mentioned, Joe Rogan was a Bernie bro. He very much did not want to endorse Trump. And 4 years ago, he got, I think it was a $250 million podcast deal. He was on the left. He repeatedly called for.
Yeah, that's not the perception. But again, that's podcast.
But Kyle Kalinske posted this viral video where he says, look at all of Joe's progressive and left-wing policies from a few years ago.
No, I'm not arguing that Joe. Look, I would never call Joe left-wing. And then I got super frustrated at him for being too right-wing for a while. I still think he's on the whole on the right. Okay. Now, having said all that, his positions are all over the board, right? He's also pro-choice. Yes, you're right that he endorsed Bernie. And why did and the mainstream media can't get it through their head? Why did he endorse Bernie and then Trump? Because it's not left-right, it's populist versus establishment. Rogan is a true populist, right?
Yeah, I agree.
And I might disagree with him on a bunch of issues, and I do, right? And sometimes I'll get angry about those issues. I don't know if he does or not. That's okay. We're all different people, right? But we're on the same populist side. So in his case, the reason why the numbers are huge is because there was a competition in the podcast market, Spotify, Sirius, and others, where they were trying to establish market position. And when they do that, just like Amazon did in the beginning, you lose money in the beginning, and then you make a lot more once you've established market position. So that was the theory as to why they were paying giant numbers for podcasts that they couldn't recoup. And by the way, most of those deals, they did not recoup. They lost money on most of those deals.
So right now we're in what's called upfronts. You know what upfronts? Yeah.
Yeah.
What I'm hearing, like we've basically got bidding wars going on. The contract. That's why I try to be careful because we do contract negotiations, and we like I've largely just done Cast Brew and we've promoted ourselves, make our own companies, control our own IP. But to sort of advance the conversation, not just keep harping on us, since Donald Trump won, and all of the media has been reporting that this is the podcast presidency. Advertisers are telling us YouTube is the number one space now. Mm-hmm. And so what we're likely going to see into next year is I think you guys are going to break the bank. I think Young Turks will probably skyrocket. The things we're hearing, what's happening now is Rachel Maddow, she's getting paid. She was getting $30 million. Then she gets 25 because they have to pull her salary down. But MSNBC is their latest ratings. I don't know if it was prime time or whatever, was 38,000 in the key demo. You could make a video of you just gardening and get more views than that in the key demo.
Yeah, that's a bad.
And their ratings keep dropping.
I know,
yeah.
and the ratings keep going down.
Keep going down, yeah.
So the advertisers first were going to podcasts like Apple, Spotify, and they're like, audio podcast listeners are deeply engaged, so there's a premium on the CPMs, like how much they're going to pay per 1,000 viewers. And what I'm hearing now from everybody is YouTube has officially taken over. Advertisers have finally realized, YouTube was suppressing podcasts. You know this. They were treating talk shows like garbage, and they were like, we don't want this for our audience. We want video. Now they're realizing this shaped the presidency. This is shaping politics. All the big companies are now saying, we want those premium spots. This is great news for all the populists, independent media. The corporate press is going to collapse under their own failures. They're desperate. And what we're going to see is, for better or for worse, whatever people might think, Young Turks is going to be able to hire 100 new employees in the next year or two as advertisers start coming around and saying this is obviously where the space is at. And we're going to see the creation of massive networks with huge stars, with huge salaries emerging. So ask yourself, how do they pay Hannity, like what does he get, like 30 to 60 million? I don't know what his salary is.
Yeah, it's some huge
40.
number, yeah.
How do they afford that? Well, their viewership used to be in the tens of millions.
Yep.
Made sense. Now it's all going away, and the independent channels are going to start taking pieces of that pie as advertisers look for ways to sell products.
And a lot of people don't have cable either. Like if I want to watch an MSNBC segment on my phone, I have to log in with my TV provider. Well, I don't have one.
Yeah.
Like I subscribe to YouTube stuff. I subscribe to a bunch of other stuff. I don't have any cable subscription.
So let me give you a general business sense of it. All the things you just said about the advertising space, that's where we agree most, right? So first of all, with television, they used to have 100 million subscribers. Yeah. So MSNBC, CNN, and Fox News would range from $1 to $4 per month per subscriber. So that means they were taking in $100 to $400 million a month.
Whoa.
A month just from subscribers. Doesn't count advertisers. Subscribers are a bigger part of their business than advertisers were. And now their average age for all the cable news guys is around 70 years old. Like they do those shows out of a senior citizen center. okay? And yet the rest of the mainstream media is like, they're the most important, they're the most important. Like, if we all had audiences that had an average age of 70, what would mainstream media say? They'd be like, they're irrelevant, they're garbage, they're just for old people, who cares, right?
Yeah.
They're so biased they can't see straight. So now that they've gone from 100 million to 60 million subscribers, they just lost 40% of their main revenue source. They're reeling. So that Rachel Maddow contract was mental to give her $25 million a year for one day. As your ship is sinking and you spun off your company because you know it's going under, right? That is nuts. So advertisers, generally speaking, are the most conservative people on earth. I don't mean politically, I mean by nature, right? So you could show an advertiser, look, here's where all of the audience is, but they say interesting things. Here's on the other side, there's two people watching. They're both 98, but they will say totally insipid things. Nothing interesting will be said. An advertiser will be like, oh, I'll take the non-interesting one. I'll take the non-interesting one. I don't care if there's no audience. I don't care. No, don't say anything brand unsafe.
But now what's interesting with YouTube is with programmatic ads, the rates are going to go up. And when I put on Fox News or CNN or whatever, skateboard commercials come on. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.